Hello, everyone. It's Mike from Downtown Comics. I'm here with James Rossman. James, how are we doing?
Doing great.
Good. We're going to talk about some comic book news for the week of July 16th, 2025. All right. So we've got a few things to go over, so let's get started.
Yeah. So up first, there was a interview with, what's his name? The director of Fantastic Four First Steps, Matt Shakman.
Okay.
He said that Pedro Pascal is supposed to be the new leader of the Avengers going forward from Doomsday and Secret Wars.
Okay.
Which I thought that was kind of interesting. Reed Richards,
Right, yeah, okay.
So, but then there was another thing where they were like, oh, no, that might not be true. But I'm like, well, that came from the director. So I'm like...
Yeah, I mean, but we're a ways off on all that stuff,
we are,
man.
yeah.
By the time that's over. But that's interesting. I mean, it means that they're definitely involved. Did he intimate that they're going to be in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars? Okay.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
because obviously the next two Avengers movies are directed by Anthony Russo and Joe Russo again. So,
right.
But I thought that was kind of interesting because I'm like Reed Richards, and how many characters were like 26 characters I think were in that one thing where they had all the names along their chairs.
Right.
So I'm like that would be a lot of characters to kind of, so we'll see if that's true or not. But like you said, we're kind of far off from that.
Okay.
And we'll talk about this in our next video, but seems like Superman's doing pretty well in the box office.
Yeah, I mean, obviously had a great first week. There's been some chatter about that the international box office has been a little bit off and trying to discuss why that may be, and is it due to some things that are going on in the real world there?
Right.
America not having a big the rest of the world not having a love affair with America right now.
Yeah,
so,
right.
We'll see. I mean, I think the second and the third week are going to be, so this week will be huge because there's no competition.
That's true. Yeah.
If there's not a huge drop, because and I think I mentioned this, Man of Steel was hugely front-loaded.
Front-loaded, that's right.
When it came out, it did bonkers, but then it dropped like 60% in its second week. Same thing with Batman, Superman.
Yeah.
So, you get that front-loaded because all the fans go out to see it, but if it doesn't connect with the general public, then you get that huge drop-off. So we'll see. Yeah. That'll be key, I think.
So did you mean with... like overseas Superman making a lot more money?
No. Oh, well, what I was saying is that compared to past Superman movies.
Oh, past Superman movies. Gotcha. Okay.
Internationally, I mean, Superman made money, but usually internationally, these kind of movies, even though the studios don't get as much of the cut, they do. If you want to get to $1 billion, which I'm sure all superhero movies want to get to, you got to do well internationally, especially with the China market not being there as much because China's kind of closed itself off to American movies. So I don't even know if it's playing in China. So it's the rest of the world, and again from the first weekend, the take wasn't what you would have expected from a big superhero film, So, and again, because Superman is so associated with America, there's commentary about whether that has anything to do. It's not necessarily that the movie isn't good. It's more maybe that in the real world, there's some anti-American sentiment maybe going on in some of those countries in Europe especially. So
that's
I don't know.
True.
We'll see. But I mean, domestically had a great weekend. So hopefully if it keeps up, then I think, because I mean, obviously Fantastic Four is next weekend, right?
Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not this weekend. It's next weekend.
It's next weekend. Yeah.
Okay.
The 24th, 25th.
So, obviously that's going to possibly cut in.
Yeah. So we'll see how that stacks up against. Yeah. Okay. So, James Gunn was in an interview and he was saying how not every movie that's going to come out in his universe is basically going to have its own creative stamp on it.
Sure.
So it's not going to be like, oh, it's going to look exactly how Superman is, or
Sure.
So I thought that was pretty good because the Clayface movie, I think that they're going to start filming here soon. That's going to be rated R.
Okay.
So that's going to be, DC's never had a rated R movie, have they?
Yeah, technically Constantine was rated R.
That's right. Yeah.
Was that Jonah Hex piece of crap movie rated R? I doubt it. What was another one? There was I guess Losers technically is a DC property that was rated R, but I mean,
so it's been a little while.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess in terms of a character like Clayface, I mean, I wouldn't have expected it to be rated R, but maybe they're going for more of a Phantom of the Opera vibe or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
okay. So I was happy to hear that because.
The original Swamp Thing from the 80s, even if that doesn't count.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
Was rated R.
Yeah, is that canon?
But that's like schlocky rated R.
Right, exactly. So, but let's see what we got. So we have. So I mentioned this a little bit earlier about, at the end of the Superman movie. We'll kind of get into this in our next video, but how she was kind of like this, just based off of her dialogue. It was kind of like
it's kind of spoilery.
Yeah, right, a little bit. Yeah. So it's and actually I might not even say this because that is a little bit spoilery. So we'll go on to the next one.
Okay.
But so another one, there was another article that I was reading about the leaders of the Avengers in the next two movies, where they said, "Oh, well, no, it's probably going to be Sam Wilson and Yelena."
Okay.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." Like that, and that makes me wonder. Like, is Chris Evans not coming back at all? Like,
supposedly Chris Evans is coming back, but as a different version of Captain America. So no, he's not coming back to be his Captain America anymore. Like how?
Yeah.
So you'd make Yelena the head of the new Avengers. Mm-hmm. And then Sam will. I mean, they set that up in Thunderbolts.
That's true too.
Sam Wilson is head of the the classic Avengers, and there was that whole fight about the name. Like you guys, he was telling the Black Widow group they can't use the name Avengers. Yeah, and they were like, why? Like make us or whatever. I don't know. So
that's true. I didn't.
So
really
they may set up a fight. So I think at least at the beginning of these movies, it's going to be those two, Sam Wilson and Yelena, that are going to be head of their various teams. Now at the end, after everything's shaken out and over, who knows? Yeah, the fantastic, the Reed Richards thing may be true, but I don't think that's going to be the start of it. I think that
so that might be more of a Secret Wars type of thing.
Yeah,
maybe.
possibly.
So, okay. Yeah, because did they say after Secret Wars that's going to be a reboot of Marvel?
No, they haven't said anything. Most people that have read the comics and kind of are trying to do the fortune telling and stuff would say that Secret Wars will be the end of the core Avengers group of Captain America, Iron Man, Thor. That group of movies, those will be done, and what you'll move on to probably is the X-Men.
That's right.
The X-Men Marvel universe, where most of the main movies will be X-Men focused. You'll still have Fantastic Four there, and you'll still have other stuff, but basically the focus will not be on that Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, Avengers core and radiating out from that. It'll probably be more X-Men radiating out kind of thing. I mean, but yes, it'll be some sort of reset where they can recast. They can recast. If they want to stick with a core Iron Man or a core Captain America, they could recast Steve Rogers. They could recast Tony Stark.
Yeah, that's true.
And just say, well, this is the way they look now or something. So who knows? We just don't know. But yeah, my feeling is that they're going to try to move on from doing major movies of these characters because they've been played out over 15 years or whatever. Yeah. And the X-Men are coming, and they're going to want to make money off of that. So definitely. I got to believe, you're going to get your X-Men.
Yeah, there's a lot to explore there. So yeah, that'll be good. So okay, yeah, that makes sense. So obviously David Corenswet is signed on to do like a somewhat of a sequel to Superman.
Sure.
But I think they might be putting that kind of back on the back burner because they I think it was just Wonder Woman. Yeah. So they fast tracked the Wonder Woman movie. So I think that will be
I didn't even hear they were doing. Okay. Mm-hmm. Did they cast a Wonder Woman?
Not yet.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, so I know they have the script, I believe, already.
Okay.
And James Gunn was like, oh yeah, the script's really really good. So yeah, that'll. There's been like rumors of like who might play Wonder Woman, but honestly, I don't know who those people are. So
Sure.
And obviously with James Gunn's casting, it's a lot of people that you may have seen in other things, but you don't register the names. You're like, wait, who are these people again?
Right.
So
yeah.
But so yeah, I'm excited to see. Did you like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she looked the part.
Mhm.
She had a bearing of what you would expect. Again, there was. I don't think there was anything wrong with any really of the casting of any of those Snyder films.
I agree,
it all came down to script
Mm-hmm.
and just maybe a core direction that wasn't quite what was needed for a cohesive DC universe. There was a sameness to some of the characterizations where the great thing about Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman is the Trinity is that there are differences
Mm-hmm.
that make them not only work better together but also separate them. So the way they approach things, the way they talk about things is different.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
As more of a writing thing, not a casting thing.
Yeah.
So Gal Gadot was fine. Now, obviously, I think you obviously got to get it. You can't keep any of them, unfortunately.
Right.
You got to recast. So it's fine.
Yeah. No. Definitely.
So,
yeah.
But no, she didn't do a bad job.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Kind of sticking with the DC movies. It came out that the execs at DC and at Warner Brothers, even though I think they're kind of split now, they're splitting DC, and I think Warner Brothers. They're going to be two separate entities. I think.
I think it revolves around the TV versus the movie.
Okay.
Maybe
TV,
I'm not sure, but
yeah,
you may be right. I honestly don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Warner Brothers is the movie division.
Yeah.
DC is technically the comic book division, so I think there was always a separation.
Yeah, for sure there was.
But I'm not sure.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Well, either way, the script for Batman 2 is done.
So this is the Batman.
Yeah, the Batman.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and it's been a long time coming because I think it was, gosh,
is it? Well, yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
4 years.
I think
maybe?
so. Yeah.
Is the same director coming back for the sequel?
Matt Reeves. Yeah.
Matt Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Because this isn't slated to come out until October 1st of 2027.
Oh,
so I'm like, how old is Pattinson again? Because obviously Pattinson's Batman
He's only 30 something, 33, 34. I mean, yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, okay.
He could play Batman easily for another dozen years or whatever. But
That's
yeah,
true.
Obviously, yeah, you don't want to wait that long between movies,
I think Pattinson there was a interview with him where he's like, well, I might be retired by the time Batman 2 comes out.
Yeah, I mean, it's the James Bond problem, right? You
True.
hire a James Bond and they're usually starting out in their mid-30s because they want him to look a little seasoned and older.
Mm-hmm.
But that means if you're doing a movie every 3 or 4 years, you're getting, maybe if you're lucky, 4 movies out of them before they're 50, and not everyone is Daniel Craig and Keanu Reeves or whatever. If you want it to look authentic and you want Tom Cruise, you want him to look authentic, you want him to do more of their own stunts, you want him to be in the action, you can't have 50. I mean, I'm that age, and, I'd be game for it, but I'd go train and stuff, but still I'm tired,
right? Yeah, that's so because obviously Pattinson's Batman was definitely a younger Batman,
right?
So it's kind of like, okay, well, I mean 2027, so they'll probably start filming next year sometime.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad that we actually have the script and we have a date for it and stuff like that. So, but in regards to Batman, now that Superman's out, James Gunn's been getting asked left and right about Batman. Who's going to be in your
right, sure.
So obviously he's not saying anything right now, but there was in Peacemaker season 2 that comes out next month, actually.
Yep.
So he said that towards the end there's going to be like a big character reveal. So I don't know. Like some people are thinking like, oh, maybe it's Batman, and they casted quietly, but I'm like, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I mean, because
that's reaching.
If the Batman is not coming out till 2027, there's no way they're gonna greenlight a Batman competition movie.
Exactly.
So I mean, we're into the. I hate this. I hate to even think it. We're into like 2030 or 2029
I know.
before we see a DC, the new DCU Batman movie.
Yeah.
I gotta believe they wouldn't want to because then you got customer confusion basically.
True.
They're still gonna have a problem because people that aren't in the know are gonna ask, well, is the Batman, is Superman going to show up in the next The Batman movie?
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, no. It's like, well, why? Because it's a different, I mean, I think the audience is in on it now, understanding it. But still, you risk customer confusion if you try to schedule two different Batman movies.
For sure.
I still think they're going to have a problem, but we'll see.
Yeah, because do you think, either way, Batman's technically older than Superman, isn't he? Sometimes in the comics.
Usually in the comics, he's been around longer than Superman has been around. So if in the new DCU Superman's been around for 3 years, you find out in the movie. You would think that Batman has been around for 5 to 10 years at this point, so he's more seasoned, but not older.
Right.
So he could still be only He could still be only 30. He may have started being Batman when he was 24. So he's 34 and Superman's approximately 30 or 33 or something like that. So they're about the same age, but he's obviously more seasoned. He's been around the block, I guess. It would be the thing. So,
okay, that's
So not necessarily younger in age or older in age, but older in experience.
The
wisdom factor, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, for the, was it Batman Brave and the Bold is going to be the first Batman movie of James Gunn's DCU. So, we'll see what happens. Okay. But next up for us is, we finally got a teaser trailer.
For Stranger Things. Yeah. So season 5, and honestly, I don't know. I'm gonna have to binge watch 4 seasons by the time that this thing comes out. I mean, I kind of got the highlights, but that's what this was. This was kind of all set. All the characters get a couple of scenes. There's definitely dialogue. There's demogorgons everywhere. There's heavy metal music playing. It's all very. You get the vibe, the vibe is back. You and everyone else that watched it for the first time goes, man, those kids are old. I think I heard, I heard something that they're still riding bikes. I don't know. There was something on the internet, they're still riding bikes even though they're in their mid-20s now or something like that,
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah. I said they probably have done some de-aging work.
That's what. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, because they didn't look as old as I think they are.
Right.
I still think they have that younger looking quantity, and plus the kind of crap they've gone through. They're obviously that ages you, right? They have been through literal torture, and it looks like it in this trailer. They're all, this has got this kind of post-apocalyptic vibe to it, where they're hunkered down in bunkers, and it seems like it's war basically. So and it's the final season and stuff. But I mean, I'm super excited. I mean, I cannot say enough that I've loved this show.
Oh, I have,
and I'm an '80s kid, so it's just
it's
just
they've
pumping
done very
that
well
stuff
to
into my
stick to
veins.
that too.
So it's just pumping that into my veins. Yeah, I didn't see maybe in the comments, I didn't see anything specifically super 80s that they're going to reference. There was no, like I said, the song that's overplaying is probably some heavy metal song that I don't know because I wasn't really into that type of music in the 80s. But I didn't see anything specific. Did you notice anything specific that was quintessential 80s?
I don't think so. There wasn't.
There wasn't any iconic. iconography. That was the word I was searching for. Iconography that was like, oh yeah, that's 80s, you know, that thing. So, but maybe I'll watch it a couple more times, but I missed it. If you notice something, put it in the comments.
Yeah, because it makes me wonder, like, is it because that they're going to be dealing with a lot of, like, the upside down kind of stuff?
Yeah,
so, yeah, and it makes me, I could have sworn I've seen, and correct me if I'm wrong, but, like, the guy that died,
the D&D guy. The Hellfire Club guy, yep.
I could have sworn I'd seen something where someone said he might be back for this last season.
Well, anything's... you're talking about the supernatural and dimensional whatever. Yeah, anything's possible. Like, there may be a version of him that shows up because he's a nightmare or something.
Right.
Yeah. So, because I think dead characters have shown up. The girl from the first season, what was her name? The friend of the sister, right? And I should remember that because there was that whole justice for her. I forget her name now. But yeah, so no, it's totally possible.
That's true. I mean,
cameo. So whether it's him or some undead version of him or something, remains to be seen. But sure, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I think so. It seems like James Gunn is like his universe is, or whenever he's in control of something, that's the only time when a character is actually dead. Because he's like, I'm never going to bring back characters more than likely, but, everything else always does. So.
Sure. Well, it's the nature of the beast. And like I said, you can bring back a character without bringing back a character.
Right, exactly. So,
yeah.
So I think you have the X-Men.
Yeah, so, the big news kind of dropped over the weekend and earlier this week. Marvel Comics dropped another Secret Zero issue. So if you remember, if you're a comic book reader, that last year during the Blood Hunt event, Mark Spector, the Moon Knight, right, the classic Moon Knight, he had been dead for a bit. But in like issue 4, I want to say, of Blood Hunt, he was resurrected or brought back to life, basically, which was a huge story point. And it was kept a secret. Like, they didn't tell anyone. We didn't, it was one of those surprises. You always like to be surprised by comic books. So they didn't tell anyone. So what they did immediately after that, within the week, they said, hey, there's going to be a new Moon Knight comic. We're dropping a Zero issue. It's not going to be on the typical solicitation cycle because you solicit comics 2 months in advance. So if they would have done that, if they would have said, hey, we're doing a new Moon Knight comic with Mark Spector, then everyone would have gone, oh, well, I guess Mark Spector's coming back to life, right? So to not ruin the surprise, they kind of surprised us with, here's a Zero issue, right? Now, Kirkman's done this a couple times where he's just dropped books into the market. But then Marvel tried it with that Zero issue, and it was pretty much a success. I liked what they did. They tied it to a specific event. They allowed us to order it and get it in, and everything, did pretty well. So it looks like they're doing this with the X-Men because they just dropped the X-Men Age of Revelation 0. So they are going to be doing, and this had been rumored or talked about, that they are going to be doing a new it's been 30 years since and I can't believe I'm saying this again, I feel so old, but since the original Age of Apocalypse, where they actually ended all the X titles that were being published at the time. The timeline changed like Terminator style, and all the books were renamed. And it was set in this alternate future where Apocalypse won, basically.
Okay.
And it was a main event. It was, at the time, just like a huge thing. I mean, you wouldn't believe the people that kind of freaked out about it, that the books were ending and people were saying, are they coming back? What's going on? I was like, we don't know what they're doing, right? Because it wasn't the internet, right? It was just what was in the solicitations and what people in fan groups were talking about, maybe on the AOL chat bot even. I don't know. This was like 1996, 97, I think. So it was a huge deal, and it was a very popular thing. So yeah, 30th anniversary, they're bringing it back, and this time Revelation is the character that I talked about when we did our review of X-Men 19, which came out. We're trying to figure out exactly when it came out. I'm saying 3 to 4 weeks ago.
I think so, about a month ago.
Almost a month ago. And I could be wrong. Could be only 2 weeks. But anyway, dovetailing off of that, which was kind of a Revelation one-shot setting this character up, the status quo, they're dropping this Revelation 0. So I haven't read it because we don't have it yet. Like, they shipped the special surprise variant to all the stores. But again, they said, go and order this. We're not soliciting it. You just go and order it. So we are getting it in next week. But what I was telling you is I thought this one was a little botched. I thought that they should have dovetailed it right off of X-Men 19, just like they did with the Blood Hunt. Because I think on Blood Hunt number 4 hit, and I think that week later that Zero issue was out. Yeah. I could be wrong about that. This one seems like it's a couple weeks removed, maybe almost a month removed from that issue. It would have been better to dovetail it right off of that issue. I don't think they were as good as communicate. I don't know. I feel like when they did the Moon Knight, I knew about it with enough time to kind of get it out there for the customers, to get an idea of how many to order. This time, as a retailer, I didn't feel like it was there. I'm kind of ordering a little blind. And X-Men is a much bigger franchise than Moon Knight.
Yeah, for sure.
So I could be way off on my numbers. And of course, most retailers play it close to the vest. We're not going to over order or whatever, especially on like a $5 comic, which is what they are now. So yeah, I hope they printed enough, because if we get this first wave in and there's more people that want it, I hope they've got it, and I don't want it to get into this whole collector scarcity thing where, some stores got a ton and other stores didn't, and now there's this rush to get it, and that's not how you get people hyped up for an event, by causing this kind of scarcity collector mentality. So we'll see, and hopefully it works out. And I don't mind the fact that they're doing things like this. I mind the fact that maybe the people that are setting it up, the marketing people, maybe need to think outside the box a little bit more. And I don't know, so we'll see. But yeah, so if you've heard about this and haven't seen it yet, or you've heard about this, hopefully us as a company, as a store, we'll have some in next week. And again, if you're going to your local comic shop, whether it's ours or another one, let them know that you want this, because we need numbers. So get with your local store and tell them, hey, I want this. Make sure you order one for me. And, I'm sure all the stores will do their best. I'm going to do my best to get orders for everyone. And then some just for the rack, obviously, for people that are just walking in. But I am excited about this event. The event is going to be starting in the fall, and I think they're going to do the same thing. They're going to cancel all the titles where they are, and then restart them under the new names of the changed future. And how that happens, or why that happens, or what is Revelation doing the Apocalypse thing, or is he the one fight? We don't know. So so it sounds like that's going to be a fun fall for X-Men fans. So there we go.
And I think this fall too is when the whole big DC one is, isn't it?
DC's doing their dark sidey thing, that may tie into what's going on in the Absolute verse. That's happening coming up. But that tends to be, these. If one company's doing an event, the other one's probably also doing it.
Exactly.
It's just the way it works. So it just depends on what it is. So, all right.
All right. Well, I think about wraps us up. Yeah.
All right. So cool. So we'll see about if there's anything next week.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Catch you later. I don't know how to end this.
All right. Good.
Bye.